Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Andrew from Team Respawn, and this is a Halo Wars 2 Mythbusters. For this one, it's a very rare occasion. I'm joined by nobody, also from Team Respawn, because I believe for this Mythbusters, this is one that you can pretty much just figure out on your own, and I really want to test it, and it's really to see if upgrading your supply pads at the beginning of the game are really worth it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a supply pad. And as you can see, I have no resources right now. And I'm going to see about what time the supply pad is done being built. And kind of just see how long it takes us to get probably about 100 resources or so. And then I'm going to try my best to get rid of all my supplies and try it again with upgrading a supply pad. Alright, so 104 I started. Let's keep that in mind. And this is really to see, because especially at the beginning of the game, if you're going to rush someone, it's absolutely vital that you get units out as quickly as possible. So is it really worth throwing out the power to do so? I think this would make a little bit more sense than Halo Wars 1. But, alright, so we got 100 resources in about 22 seconds right there. So, I'm going to wait till I get one. I'm going to go ahead and buy that now. Train a Marine squad to kind of get rid of that. So 22 seconds to get 100 resources. Let's see how long it takes us to get 100 resources with an upgraded supply pad. So we had 70 resources at 152. I'm going to see 170 here is coming up pretty quickly. So 170 was at 205, so that is 10 seconds. That's 13 seconds. So it is a pretty decent improvement upgrading your supply pad. Now you got to keep in mind, is it worth the time to go ahead and wait for the supply pad upgrade or not? I honestly think it is worth it in Halo Wars 2. For Halo Wars 1, it might actually be debatable, especially at the beginning of the game, just because you only have one supply that you quote-unquote spend, and because the power is kind of a you know, it's a unit that you don't spend in the game, but it is something that goes up in increments. Now, you probably, I think the best way to go ahead about of starting off your base is right off the bat is make a generator. I'm just the type of person where I believe power is much more important at the beginning of a match than supplies are, but you could really make an argument for both. So I made a video actually on the best base order video thing at the start of a game. If I remember, I'll put a card on the video for you to check out. But I would say build a generator first, then a supply pad, and once that supply pad's done, you'll actually be able to upgrade it right off the bat. And from there, you're going to want to build a couple of supply pads. I have 3, obviously, you can count, and build a second generator. That's kind of what I would do. But again, it's kind of really depending on all of what you want to do. Oh, look at this. It's cute. I will say that if it's going to improve 8 seconds or 9 seconds, however long it was in between getting 100 resources per generator, if you get enough upgraded generators going, the rate in which you get supplies is going to be actually really, really good. And I think it's objectively the best way to get resources. I think that it's not really worth your while getting a supply pad for the sake of not upgrading it. I think you should upgrade it if you are going to get a supply pad. And you might also want to keep in mind, is it worth it to get the mini bases? Because almost every single map in the game has a mini base. So you got to keep in mind, if you want to kind of get off the bat in terms of getting a lot of resources so you can marine rush or, you know, flamethrower rush or whatever you want to do, you're going to spend 200 resources constructing a mini base, which takes 30 seconds to build. When you're done with that, we're going to build a supply pad here, which I believe those take 15 seconds to build. And if you're getting 100 resources every 22 seconds, you're already in the hole for 350 resources. So you're taking about 80 to 100 seconds, if my math is right, just to get your return on investment for building this mini base in the supply pad. Now, you could also say, how long does it take? It takes 20 seconds. Okay, so that puts you at 50 seconds total. An unupgraded supply pad gives you 100 resources every 22 seconds. So, okay, it would take you about a minute to get your return on investment once the supply pad starts making supplies. If you were to get the supply pad upgrade, that would go way down in terms of how much time it would take you to get your return on investment. Now, granted, you could also state the argument that you could get Marines out of this mini base as well, so you're pretty much double pumping. I would agree. I think it's definitely worth it in the beginning of the game to go ahead and get the mini base. If it only takes you a minute to get your money back, I would go for it every time. But it depends. Are you going to attack them, you know, before 5 minutes? Because we're already at 6 minutes here in this video, or on this match, I should say. So it's all dependent on a bunch of things. Pretty much what you're doing at the beginning of the game. You know, are you getting crates out here? Are you going for the mini base? It all, I think, really depends on what you want to do in terms of a strategy. And if you're going to really rush some kids, if it's not a very early rush, like a leader rush or anything, if it's going to be kind of what Ed and I do, where we wait till about 5 minutes to attack someone so we can get a pretty decent force up and running, then yes, I would say go ahead and get the mini base. And depending on whatever map it is, it might actually is probably going to be worth it to go over to their side of the map, especially at the beginning of the game, and send a Marine squad over here and take this mini base, or whatever map you're playing on, kind of to where it's close to their side of the map, because if it only takes you, let's say, a minute, well, we kind of just proved it takes about a minute to get your supplies back, I guarantee you they probably won't find this out for at least a minute. So you'll actually be making money getting a supply pad on their side of the map, which will accomplish a few things. One, you'll get more money for your economy. They will get less money because you have a building that they don't have. It'll make them ill because you stole a building on their side of the map. And then they're going to have to spend the time, build the units, destroy the building, and then wait for the cooldown to build it back up. And then build their own supply pad and wait for that to generate enough resources to, you know, make more money off this than you did. If that kind of makes sense. Which they already did this. So they know what's up. These guys are not dangos. Confirmed. I will drop mines right in front of them, though. Why can I not drop mines? What is this? Oh, I guess I see why they did that. So you can't just, like, drop mines right here and, like, Marines that are just trained blow up. I see. That's kind of sneaky. There's a mini Mythbusters right there for you. But yeah, there you have it. I guess this really wasn't necessarily a Mythbusters. The only thing that we were kind of proving was how fast you get a return on your supply pads. I guess I'll go ahead and do one for power as well. I don't know why I just did that. I meant to do this. And then I meant to do this. Okay. So we're at 1347. Let's go ahead and build one. Takes 20 seconds. And we're going to time it to see how long it takes to get 100 resources. It'd be hilarious if it's 22 seconds. That means they gather at the same rate. Okay, here we go. So at 8:46 we started. We're looking to get to 1447. 8:46. I'm going to keep remembering that because I might forget. Actually, this is going pretty daggum slow. This might take a whole minute. Maybe not. Coming up on 30 seconds here. So that's 30 seconds right there, 9:16. 9:19. So that was about, what, 33 seconds, if my math is right? So it takes you 33 seconds to get 100 power, or it takes you 22 seconds to get 100 supplies. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it now. That takes 25 seconds, obviously. You can see it right there. I like it how also when it upgrades, it kind of just poofs. And, you know, bigger turbines appear out of thin air.
Point earned.
Alright, so it looks like we're going to get it at 9:58 when the upgrade is done. $12.66. Or was that $12.76? I couldn't see. I think it was $12.76. Someone's going to rage in the comments. And that was what, 9:58? Alright, so it doesn't really matter. It happened at, what was that, 1016? So that was actually a pretty big increase as well. So I think it is definitely worth getting the advanced generator and heavy supply pad upgrades every single time. But that's just me. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it all depends on what you're doing in the game. If you're going for a heavy economy and really not making units right off the bat, I would go ahead for the upgrade. Maybe not necessarily, you know, you don't really need to make 3 generators on your main base. I would save the 3rd generator for your 2nd base. But that's just me. But there you have it. Post your thoughts in the comments below. Would you be the type of person to go for heavy supply pads and heavy generators or advanced generators right off the bat? Or would you not? Would you hold off so you could build some units up and go crap on someone? I will say as a strategy tip though, go ahead and take this on their side of the map and make them ill. Or even take one of the double mini base slots that they have scattered on some of the maps. That'll also make them double ill for sure. Thanks for watching. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn. There is a playlist for all the Halo Wars 2 Mythbusters stuff we have done and will do, so be sure to check that out. And we have a ton of other awesome Halo Wars 2 stuff on the channel as well. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and I'll see you in about a decade.